Hello and welcome to the Royal Road School of Carmelite Prayer. Please find a link to the Praying with Teresa of Avila website, which has been provided below to enable you to find the notes and the audio of today's presentation, along with a catalog of offerings on this channel. So today's presentation is on the prayer of recollection, and this is the fifth and final part of a 5-part series, and today we'll be focusing on the different methods to recollect yourself. So Teresa tells us that sometimes the living contact with Christ cannot be established or maintained during prayer, maybe because of bad body position or dryness or distractions. To achieve or reestablish this contact, Teresa suggests employing diverse little ploys or skills, as she calls them, which are only a means to reach the goal. Indeed, when the fire in the will is not enkindled and God's presence is not felt, it is necessary that we seek this presence. Teresa recommends that you help yourself with a good book in order to recollect your thoughts and pray well vocally, and little by little accustom your soul with coaxing and skill not to grow discouraged. She goes on to tell us that for 18 years after communion, she really never dared to begin prayer without a book. She says that her soul was fearful of being without it during prayer, as it would have been should it have had to do battle with a lot of people. With this recourse, which was like a partner or a shield, by which to sustain the blows of my many thoughts, I went about consoled. After that, Teresa would continue to use a book that she would keep beside her, and she said that as soon as I have a book, if I liked it, I would become recollected, and the reading transformed into interior prayer. She goes on to say that reading offers a center of interest, something for my thoughts to focus on. It represents an intermediate which enhances recollection and even for some replaces mental prayer that they cannot achieve. In any case, for those who journey along this path, a book helps to promptly recollect oneself. I have always been fond of words, the words of the Gospels, and found in them more recollection than in very cleverly written books. Another suggestion that Teresa recommends would be to carry about an image or a painting of the Lord that is to your liking, not so as to carry it about on your heart and never look at it, but so as to speak often with Him. We have to return to this method when He Himself is absent, or when by means of a great dryness He wants to make us feel He is absent. It is often, then, a wonderful comfort to see an image of one whom we have so much reason to love, and to feel sorry for the heretics denied this consolation. Now then, let us speak again to those souls I mentioned that cannot recollect or tie their minds down in mental prayer or engage in reflection. Teresa suggests reciting a vocal prayer like the Our Father. It is important to seek to understand each word of the prayer. The intellect is recollected much more quickly with this kind of prayer, even though it may be vocal. It's prayer that brings with it many, many blessings. Teresa affirms that even by this path it is possible to achieve perfect contemplation. I tell you that it is very possible that while you are reciting the Our Father or some other vocal prayer, the Lord may raise you to perfect contemplation. There is a last objection that needs to be addressed. Teresa heard often murmurings about the reality of her having had a real conversation with the Lord. The friendly dialogue that she proposes, doesn't it come down, in fact, to a monologue in which the soul does most of the talking without an answer? Well, Teresa recognized, first of all, that the Lord comes very late and pays just as well and all at once what he was giving to others in the course of many years. Even though we do not hear him, he speaks well to the heart when we beseech him from the heart. Concerning beginners and all those who begin yet never reach the end because they think they're doing nothing, she remarks that it is then perhaps that their will is being strengthened and fortified, although they may not be aware of this. She says that it is certain that the Lord does not stop acting in the soul who is looking for him. Though he comes disguised, the disguise, as I have said, does not prevent him from being recognized in many ways, in conformity with the desire we have to see him. And you can desire to see him so much that he will reveal himself to you entirely if we prepare ourselves to receive him. He never fails to give in many ways which we do not understand. Another noteworthy remark of Teresa's is the following. She says that as soon as the Lord understands that the soul is totally his, he never ceases to commune with it in so many ways and manners, as one who is wisdom itself. So in summary then, the Lord's answer in the heart-to-heart of interior prayer happens certainly not through words, but by his action in the most intimate part of the soul, or by the feeling that he gives. Delight to be there, to suffer for him, to believe and hope in him, in spite of the contradiction of events. These are happy feelings about your misery, about knowing yourself loved and forgiven. Sometimes there is a silence full of love, of joy at his beauty, of his mercy, of his glory, of peace, or of an interior light on him. Sometimes there's a feeling that he's there, that he's listening. But more often, usually, there is nothing other than a reinforced will to serve him, whatever the cost. Amen. So this is the end of the 5-part series on the Prayer of Recollection, written by Father Emmanuel Renault, Carmelite friar, deceased, Paris, France.